Hey guys, Ben here and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about a theory to do with Superman, Lois and the Superverse. So if you do go on to enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment and subscribe if you're new so you don't miss any future DCTV videos later this year. Okay, so as you guys know, we had the Justice League before, technically in the Arrowverse. However, that Justice League was never referred to as the Justice League. They had the Hall of Justice and they referred to it as such, but they never fully established that they are the Justice League. We just assumed in their spare time they would go back and they would be Justice League members, and that's just like their kind of main headquarters where they would rendezvous. And even in Armageddon, we did see the Hall of Justice once again, where we saw Black Lightning show up along with the Flash and everything that was happening in that mini crossover. But really, since Crisis on Infinite Earths, we've never really gone back to the concept of the Justice League. I mean, you even had the teaser at the end of Crisis in the Hall of Justice about a new villain coming, but that never actually came to fruition. That was just a teaser that kind of led nowhere. And so this has led a lot of people to assume that at some point they're going to revisit the idea of the Justice League in the Arrowverse. And so that is the theory that we're going to be talking about today. We got a couple of ideas to break down and talk about. Some of these ideas were actually brought up in our members live stream by Jamie, Nathan and Tom, some of our core members who have been around since the very start. So if you want to be featured on a members live stream and actually have your ideas talked about and maybe made into a video, please be sure to become a member today by clicking the join button down below and becoming a super friend. It's pretty easy to do, and also I really appreciate your support towards the channel. It means a lot. But yeah, let's go ahead and actually break down this theory. Is it possible that there could be a future Justice League team? Well, I would say yes, and I would not say it's in the typical Arrowverse. I would say if it's going to happen anywhere, it's going to happen in the Superverse, because they have established there is no heroes on his Earth. There's no one on Superman's Earth that is currently out and out a superhero. It's only Superman right now. There could be some vigilantes around, but we don't know about that. And so with that, they've got a blank template to introduce any hero that they want to. And so that's why we've had lots of theories recently about, oh, is Supergirl going to show up? Is a different version of this character going to show up? Like, who could show up? Really, the possibilities are endless, and that's what's so exciting about the concept of the Superverse. Although at the same time, it's a shame that they want to throw away the Arrowverse and what they've already established. So with that in mind, you know, it's kind of like a win, kind of lose scenario, because you win some, but then you also lose some with this scenario. But the main idea that we came up on the live stream was that it's very possible that Superman and Lois could establish a Justice League team in the future. Now, we're not saying that it's going to be happening in season 3 in this next season that they are currently filming right now, and that's set to release in like January after the mid-season. I think that is probably not going to happen this next season. They're going to focus on what they're doing right now. Obviously, they got a new Jonathan, so that's another big thing. And I don't believe they're planning any kind of crossover event yet, so I don't think we're going to be seeing new characters show up. And I think it's imperative, if you create a Justice League team, to have the characters show up and not just like reference, oh, you know what I did, Lois, the other day? I set up a Justice League team with some of my friends. It's this person, this person, this person, but you don't even see them. I think that would be a bit stupid. So probably if they're going to establish a future Justice League team, a Justice League team set in the Superverse, that would be in some sort of crossover. And as far as we know, it's not going to happen in the Titan, Stargirl, Doom Patrol crossover, because I don't believe Superman Lois is related to that at all, and it's not going to be linked to it. So that could have been a starter, but probably not going to be. Anyway, so basically one of the ideas that we came up on the live stream was that it's basically the Superverse having its own Justice League. That is our theory. However, they would be using potentially as an idea, and this is just a theory, so don't take this with any kind of validity, but take it with a grain of salt. This could potentially be a template, and that being the animated Justice League team. Now, that is pretty much the classic team from the Justice League comics. So you got Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman front and center. They are the leading trio of the Justice League, of course. Then you have Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter, The Flash, and Hawkgirl. And so that is obviously like the core roster, and that's what you would want with a Justice League team, and it's what they tried to establish when all the shows were still around. So you had the lead trio, which was the Flash, Green Arrow, and Supergirl. And then around that you had Black Lightning, you had Martian Manhunter, and a couple of other people. And so that is still the core thing of what they tried to establish, but they just never went anywhere with it. So that's why we are thinking of the idea, can we do this again, but actually go for it and have some new characters? So who would be in this Justice League team? Now, one of the members, Nathan, he actually suggested that he would pick Zatanna as one of the members, along with Dr. Fate, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, the Atom, Green Arrow, and Black Lightning. So obviously he is quite ambitious with his picks. However, I do feel like there is a possibility for some of these characters, and he also said to me that he thinks Hawkgirl is a good idea, definitely, since we've already seen her in the Arrowverse, which I think is definitely true, and they could definitely bring back Hawkgirl if the actor who played Hawkgirl agreed to come back. And so, yeah, let's go over Nathan's idea. So he said Zatanna. I think Zatanna would be a great addition to the Arrowverse, adding some more magical characters. Obviously would be a great pair with Constantine if he came back. And Dr. Fate, again, great pairing with Zatanna. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. I think that is quite ambitious. I think if they go for anything like that, in my opinion, they're going to go for kind of like secondary characters, but who are related to Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. Obviously, you would have Superman because we got him in the Arrowverse. I'm more talking about Wonder Woman and Batman because they are a big thing in the films right now, and Superman's not a big thing in the films, and we have Superman and Lois, so we do have a Superman to lead the team, and that's the main theory. It's like we're basing this Justice League team around Superman as the core central character. And the Atom is definitely a good pick, because we've seen the Atom recently, both versions of the Atom, but definitely the Ryan Choi version would be able to show up because he only made a couple of appearances. Also, Green Arrow definitely could if you wanted to reintroduce Mia. So again, it probably wouldn't be the Green Arrow, it wouldn't be Stephen Amell. However, I do think Black Lightning is a good option because it seemed Crest was open to come back in the past, and I think if he got an invitation to show up on Superman and Lois, he would. So now I'm going to go into my personal pick as to who I think could be on this Justice League team for a Superman and Lois version. Now, I would definitely say Superman, of course. Then I would say Stargirl, because she is one of the leading characters right now. That is definitely something that I would put in the team. Along with that, definitely the Atom, and I think Black Lightning is a very good shout from Nathan, so I'm going to include Black Lightning as well. And I also have to agree, a magical user would be a good addition. Whether it's bringing back Matt Ryan as Constantine or introducing Zatanna, I think that would definitely be a great addition to the team. I would also go Martian Manhunter, but that really depends on if David Harewood is actually available. And if we're going to spice things up and add in a character that already exists in the Arrowverse, and is also going to be crossing over very soon with a character that I mentioned just previously, I would include someone like Nightwing from Titans. I think that would be a great kind of addition on top of everything else to connect Titans even more to Superman and Lois and the new Superverse. I don't see why they wouldn't want to, because Titans kind of fits in a similar vein just because it's more kind of edgy than the typical CW show, and that's kind of the area that Superman and Lois wants to go into. And so yeah, my main team would be Superman, Stargirl, Nightwing, Black Lightning, the Atom, Zatanna, and Martian Manhunter. Those would be my kind of realistic picks. I know Nightwing is not as realistic, along with Martian Manhunter and Black Lightning, just due to actor availability, but I think, you know, it's a solid pick, it's a solid team, and I could totally see something along the lines of this happening if they were to ever create a Justice League team in the Superverse. And I think as long as Superman, Lois, and Stargirl runs, and Titans runs, surely you're going to get more crossovers. Like, I feel like Superman and Lois is going to have to cross over at some point. They're not going to stay just by themselves for this entire time, like their entire runtime. Again, we don't know how many seasons they're going to have, but I really do feel like they will cross over at some point, and that would introduce a great opportunity to reintroduce the Justice League and reform what we already had in the Arrowverse, because right now you're not going to get back the Flash, Arrow, and Supergirl all in one crossover. I would say it's very, very unlikely. However, I do have to mention the characters that I just mentioned, so Superman, Stargirl, Nightwing, Black Lightning, the Atoms, the Tanner, Martian Manhunter, or anything that anyone else has suggested doesn't actually need to be the version of the character that we've seen before. Obviously, it would be great if we could get back the actors. However, as Todd Helbing, the showrunner of Superman and Lois, has previously said at the end of season 2, if they want to introduce characters that have already appeared in the Arrowverse, they may go ahead and totally just recast them if actors aren't available, because already they plan on introducing characters within the Superverse that are going to be having their own origin stories. They're going to be separate from the Arrowverse characters. So if they don't want to go multiverse with a future crossover and include Justice League, they could totally just get these characters and introduce them in the crossover and say they are from the Superverse. That is why they're different. That's why they're not the same as the people that we have followed in the past. So I just wanted to point that out before we ended the stream to kind of consolidate these theories. But for now, let me know, who would you pick for a Justice League team in Superman Lois in the future? Again, not going to happen in season 3, but at some point potentially in the future, that could definitely be a possibility. But for now, if you did enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment. It really helps out the channel. Also subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos, and you can click on the top right corner of the screen to watch my latest video. But for now, I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.
I see red.